So the story goes like this. In 1962, my father and mother were visiting her parents, my grandfather Ray and Ruth Lewis. And my dad found this amazing ranch on the east side of Zion National Park in the Los Angeles Times want ads.
And so they jumped in the car and came up to see the ranch. My grandpa took one look at it and said, "I'll take it."
And my grandfather traded the deed to his house and $1,000 as a down payment on the ranch. And the rest is history. It's been almost 60 years.
When I was a child, my grandparents would take us around to see the beautiful spots in Zion.
He would put us on the top of his International Scout and drive us all over the ranch, this amazing hilly terrain looking right into Zion.
He would always say to us kids, he would say, "Whose ranch is it?"
And we would say, "It's ours," and he would say, "That's right, it's everyone's ranch."
It was always just so incredible how beautiful Zion was and that it was so close to us. We just loved it.
When I think about the ranch and what it was like as a young kid, the first thing I think about is family. I mean, my grandparents had 9 children. They all had a bunch of kids, and it was always me and my cousins hanging out. And those times of being together as a family, of having a barbecue in the ground, and then him inviting everyone in and actually saying, when you're at the ranch, this is your ranch. You own this. That was a very special time. As my grandparents started getting older, they just couldn't manage the ranch in the way they previously had. And they didn't have the money to maintain it. But my brother, David, who was in the airline industry and had the same passion for the ranch that all of us did, said, "Let's figure this out. Let's figure out a way to pay for the ranch." And we all made this concerted effort as a family to go and do it. And part of that was to go on a hike through Orderville Canyon. It's the first time we'd ever done it. And we did this hike and we had to kind of figure it out. We didn't even take a rope with us. And I still remember when we finished that hike thinking this was the most remarkable experience of my life. I'd never seen nature like that. And I said, "David, this is the answer. If we can get other people to come and see this, that could be a mechanism to save the ranch for future generations." I never thought we'd have to build a whole resort. I was thinking about like a camping area, people come in. But the thing was, David, I think he knew better, and he said, "This is going to be a big deal." And so at that point, we started figuring out where are we going to put these people. And it started out being camping. Later, it became the resort that started kind of just a few cabins at a time. We didn't even have water. We didn't have a sewer system. We didn't even have electricity. We didn't even have phones. And I've often thought that when people come to the resort and they think, wow, look at all the investment that they see above ground, there's actually more investment below ground. In 1962, when my grandfather and grandmother went to the ranch, they were the initial people in our family that were taking care of this piece of property. What's happened since then? Well, we've just kept the ball rolling. And currently today, our general manager is my sister.
In 1995, when the resort started, called Steve and said, "Steve, if anything comes up that you would need Bart and I to work there, we would like to give it a try." And he said, "Okay, let me talk to David, my other brother." And he called me back that night and said, "Put your house up for sale." So gets me a little emotional, but we asked our children if they were interested in moving to Grandpa's ranch. And they all cheered, "Yes, we want to move to Grandpa's ranch." So still remember that emotional day turning up on North Fork Road in our big moving truck, cheering that we were coming to our new home.
Ray is my great-grandpa, and my mother is Julie Millard. And we've been here at the ranch what I would call my whole life. We moved down here when I was 8 years old from Salt Lake City. I lead the sales and marketing team here at Zion Ponderosa Ranch Resort and East Zion Adventures.
as we've thought about what people are going to do, we've thought about, number one, that people want to be able to touch and feel nature. And then for years we thought, what can we do to really bring back the essence of what our grandfather did? And that's when we started thinking about our Jeep tours. Because the Jeep tour was what my grandfather used to do in his International Scout. And so when we started doing that several years ago, it brought back the real spirit of Ray Lewis, taking us all over his fantastic ranch in a Jeep.
Looking over the vista, and it's peaceful. There's something special about it. And being able to share that with people, I believe makes their lives better. It's to the point where years from now, I feel confident that there are people that will talk about some of their best vacations they've ever taken, and they'll talk about standing in that canyon or looking out at that Jeep tour point, and that time that guide, maybe it was Jake, maybe it was somebody else, made them put their arms around each other as a family and sit quietly for a minute and just feel that peaceful, emotional connection with each other and with the experience, with the land, everything around them.
We want them to have a love for this land. We want them to come back with their kids and their grandkids.